Hello.
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 Wow. Well. Where were we last time?
In a shitload of trouble.
Oh
In a
god.
shitload of trouble.
Nah, we were fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Ozzy's not
Well,
here.
yeah, you guys are fine. I'm pretty fucked up.
I miss all the eventful stuff.
You missed some
Yeah.
memorable stuff here.
there we go. Yeah. So,
It's alright. If you start scratching your ear with your back leg, we'll know something wrong.
when we last left off, you'd just managed to defeat and subdue and bind in manacles this individual that had turned into a part wolf, part man. And it turns out that Hazzy has been bitten by a werewolf. Also discovered, or realised at that point, because previously you didn't really have any reason to necessarily keep track, the full moon is in 3 days, 4 days time. On the night of the 4th day is the next full moon. And if Hazzy doesn't get some kind of cure before then, it becomes incredibly difficult, near impossible to break the curse. So, over to you guys. What would you like to do?
Well, I think we need to get out of here ASAP, into town, and find help.
We need to ask some learned people for some advice.
What do we do with this guy?
He did ask for his life to be spared and to be let go, in which case he would give you everything he had and tell you everything he knew.
Yeah, he did also kill a lady in the town, so...
Maybe we bring him back to town. Let the town have justice.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds fair.
Yeah.
And he bites someone and then...
Well, we've got him restrained and he's pretty hurt.
Anyone got a muzzle?
I think we got him if he tries to do anything.
He is in not a good way.
Yeah. I do have I have a cape with me that we could probably bind around his head, so at least he can't see where he's gonna try and bite.
Well, you could gag him.
Yeah, it's a long journey though, right?
Yeah.
I don't want him to die on the way. So who's for?
He will like in the information he's divulging, he'll also tell you a little bit about this level of the dungeon. To the north, so just through the set of doors this way.
Yes.
It says the stairs don't make any sense. If you go one direction, the stairs just keep going upwards until you find yourself back where you started. And if you go another direction, the stairs keep going down until you reach the same place you left. Somewhat like an Escher drawing. If you go clockwise, the stairs go up. If you go anti-clockwise, the stairs go down. But no matter which way you go, it's just a circuit.
Oh.
He also tells you a little bit about what's to the south. So in this area down here, he says there's a big rusty metal chute that protrudes from the ceiling coming to an end over a slimy water. There's a massive mound of fungus lies under the tube against the wall, resting in a strangely monstrous shape. He doesn't think anything's alive there, but he's not entirely sure. And then further south, where the water is, and then moving into around here. What does he call it? He calls it... Yeah, there's a shadowy ghost on the island towards the south.
Where were those stairs?
That's this area up here.
Oh, up here and down here? Or just up there?
Yep, up there, and they go kind of all around. And as Mist goes off to explore, they do indeed go up in one direction, but then you find yourself back at the start. So from Mist's perspective, she's going anti-clockwise. You're just going downstairs the entire time, but you start back where you started.
I can't see anything where everyone is.
Ah, that's a good point because you're not here. I'll pop your token here, but you're back in town at the moment. This will give you some vision.
Ah, okay, cool.
So yeah, that's all he knows because he spent most of his time just hiding out here. Also, through this door over here, there's a way back up to the level above.
Wait, sorry, where?
Just through here.
Okay. Wait, up to the level above, you said, right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, back up to the library. So yeah, what's the plan?
Back to town we go.
I
Yeah.
only caught like part of that.
I think back to town we
Back
go.
to town. We go.
Oh, okay. Are you going back the way you've already been, so it's like familiar passageways, or are you going to go up the other way?
Yeah, I would think so.
There's also a tunnel this way.
Unless he knows of a, hey, this way is like much faster and I know and am familiar with it.
He says there's a tunnel that way that leads to the coastline just west of Atari. It's in a sea cave that's underwater even at low tide. So you could get out that way, but you'd have to then swim out into the ocean and then find land again.
Now, why on the old green earth would we do that?
Where was that? Up this way.
Yeah. Escape tunnel?
I'm probably the only one who could do it here, and not die.
Quite
Right.
possibly.
Yeah.
Cats obviously love water. What are you talking about?
I love being underwater for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
not a huge fan of that idea.
Yeah, no.
Alright, well, if you're just going to go back the way you went.
Yep.
Yeah, let me just activate Atari and drag you guys back. And You get back to town about an hour and a half later. Time is just a little bit after midday. And I should probably have bought... And are you bringing this guy back to town?
Yeah.
What are you doing with him? Where are you taking him and such?
Probably gonna take him to the garrison, right? Or
Yeah.
is
That
there like
sounds
a
okay,
jail?
yeah.
No.
Yeah, so shortly after you get into town, a couple of guards stop you, and then they signal. Well, one of them runs off and gets this guy, Mardus Longsaddle. He is the head of the guard. He's a gruff and stout captain. He says, "Oh, what exactly is all this? Why is this man bound in iron? What's going on? What's all the hubbub?"
Well, we could unbind him and show you, but it probably wouldn't be a good idea.
Mistress points at him and says, werewolf.
Yeah. So as you say that, like all the guards and the captain themselves will kind of take their weapons out and kind of take up like a guarded like stance to go. Why in the name of the gods did you bring a werewolf into town?
Ask
Is this
me.
true, sir? The guy just kind of keeps his mouth shut.
Well, I mean, it's something that you can't help, and there's a cure. So, I mean, maybe he could be cured and try to face justice or like make things right somehow. I don't know.
Also, I can't in good conscience murder a more.
So what are his crimes exactly, other than the werewolf?
We do believe he killed someone from this town.
Kind of captain looks this individual over and says, "Is this true? Did you?"
Did you?
We did find a body down there, right?
He just goes, "No, I didn't kill anyone." Like,
I take it I come and join, see everyone turn up and join them.
yeah, so probably somewhere else kind of in town, and you hear a bit of hubbub and a bit of commotion, and you follow some of the villagers because it's a relatively small town, so news spreads quite quickly. Let's have a quick.
If he's gonna lie now, all of a sudden, my sympathy is gonna start waning.
I mean, to be honest, what do you expect? Do you expect him to be like, yeah, I murdered someone from town?
Well, I mean, he did though.
I ain't saying he didn't.
Do you guys
We're
know
owning up.
do you guys know who he murdered?
Well, we have a necklace, I believe,
Yeah,
from one of
we
his
have-
victims.
Yeah.
As you're kind of talking and more of a crowd is kind of gathering, a few more guards are turned up to kind of keep the gods away. From the crowd, this guy forces his way past the guards, points an accusatory pointed finger at Joel, and simply shouts, "Him! He's the one who killed my wife. That's her necklace." And he just starts demanding that he's executed. Just kill him. Prison is too good for him.
Can I try to like explain, like the werewolf, like how things work?
Yeah. Okay. Says, he killed my wife. I don't care if he was under the control of a god. But it was happening. That thing killed my wife.
Try telling the truth.
So, I want to ask you one thing then, good sir. If you were under the possession of some sort of upper being and you were forced to murder someone, would you want to be executed?
Of course I wouldn't want to be executed, but that's beside the point.
Honestly, that's a fair point of him, yeah.
I mean, my sympathies lie with both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
And I got Captain
What's
says,
the law
well,
state and how does the law be carried out?
for now, lock him in the sturdiest cell. And he motions for 3 of his guards to kind of take him into custody from you guys. In the meantime, I'll let the mayor know, and the mayor will decide what punishment should be meted out. As is the law, will not simply lynch this man under your request, Kelino. Although I believe this to be the man responsible, I have no reason to doubt you. You did say for many a year that it was a werewolf druid that killed your wife, and you said he was still at large, and whilst a large number of the populace thought you... Well, I think some
Pardon?
people owe you an apology, but justice is not yours to mete out, so I warn you, Colino, do not attempt to take things into your own hands. And then the captain kind of looks around at the rest of the populace that have gathered. He says, and the rest of you, remember, whilst this person is a probable murderer, monstrous beast of a man that doesn't operate by the laws of the civilized land, I will remind you, we are. So, go back to your homes, and the mayor will decide what to do, as is his right and as is just. Now, all of you, just go about your business as the duel is led off to the garrison and put under armed guard. Some of his wounds kind of tended to. Not at a point that he's like full health or anything, but enough that he isn't going to bleed to death and die under their protection.
Can I warn them that the full moon is coming very soon, and they're gonna need to make sure he's secure?
We have, yes, we have a particularly sturdy cell. Granted, we haven't had to deal with anything like this before, but we will be on our guard and have extra protection.
Okay, right. Well, time's going away.
Yep. And they take him off of your hands, take him into custody, and there's a sizable crowd, maybe 40 or 50 people kind of like milling around still, kind of chatting, and you quickly get that small town experience of rumors spreading like wildfire. Also, you already hear 3 or 4 different stories.
Can I try to like entreat the crowd not to be cruel?
Yeah. Yeah, you certainly can. Yeah, I mean, you do a good job of kind of bringing down the temperature of the crowd. The stories are still running rife, and they're still telling stories about how you and your group. Some stories are that you're in league with him, and like this is a plot for you to take over the town, and others are upping you as great heroes. They battle with a whole coven of werewolves and witches. It's all sorts of like very embellished stories are spreading.
I just kind of look at the rest of the party, and I just like raise an eyebrow, like, how do you guys deal with this sort of stuff?
How badly injured is everyone coming back down?
I'm fine.
Just
Yeah, other
I'm just
people
having
are.
I'm not saying this aloud. I'm just having glanced over and a bit of perspective.
Yeah, just as
Yeah.
so it'd actually be. Um, yeah. Okay, you get an accurate read of where kind of everyone else is health-wise. Sapphire looks the most grievously wounded, followed by Monchi, and Hazy is also quite badly scratched, and there's a few bite marks on him as well.
Okay. Would I know enough about being bitten or scratched by werewolves?
I know we already
Not a
figured that out.
clue. You don't even know what a werewolf looks like. You think that guy is in his werewolf form, being that he's quite big and hairy.
Oh god.
Yeah, I guess I'd suggest that we like go to a place where we can discuss things privately and like lay out the
Yeah.
plan.
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to go?
Oh, I don't know. Where can we discuss things privately?
Hazy, if you don't want people overhearing your current predicament, you
Yeah.
would not suggest the Crook's Nook.
Yeah, I know.
You would
I
know
don't wanna
full
go
well that
Yeah.
that's not a place to have a clandestine meeting that you don't want other people to hear about.
I mean,
I was thinking about it, but I was like, no, that's literally their job.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Do any of you guys have homes here?
Mist and Iskra kind of live in this town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah. You've probably
homes?
got either if you don't have a whole house to yourself, you'll at least have like a room somewhere.
Maybe
Probably in
Well,
the
Right.
cheaper part of town.
somewhere.
I can barely hear Emmy. It's
Yeah, you keep
Yeah.
cutting out.
Yeah,
It
you
sounds
guys
like
keep
it's
sitting out
super
the
far
mute
away.
now. I think my internet might be having issues.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess we could go to one of our rooms, whichever one's gonna be private.
Yeah.
Like
Cow
actually
alley.
private, as in like.
Yeah. One of you lives down Cow Alley.
Oh,
You've got a room above a family of loggers who aren't there very often. Well, the mother and the kids are there, but the father and the two eldest sons are usually off in the woods doing the logging. So you've got a room above their house. Being that up until you began adventuring, you were probably just doing odd jobs around town to pay for rent and food, and that's about it. This is probably
Yeah.
the first time in your life that you've actually had a lot of coin behind your name. So yeah, you guys you find yourselves in a small room. What would Iskra's room look like, do you think?
plants everywhere.
Okay.
Some of them burned mysteriously.
Sorry.
Some of them burned mysteriously.
Yeah. Yeah. like every surface. Like there's room to walk around, but like hanging up on the walls, in the windows, like on shelves, like just plants everywhere. Kind of like, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you find yourself in a decent place, I think. Yeah, Hazzy, you're certain that you are in a safe place that you can discuss without having to whisper, and no one's going to be overhearing or listening in.
Okay. Is everybody else here?
Yeah, I mean, everyone. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to move yourself on the map. It's fine, but
Yeah,
I mean,
no, that's fine.
considering there's just plants everywhere, Mist is just gonna be in his fox form.
yeah, okay. You can speak in your fox form now, can't you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, over to you guys. What are you doing?
What happened, guys?
Well, we have until the full moon, to stop this. After the full
stop what?
moon, it's a lot harder.
What's
Um,
harder? I wasn't there.
to cure that Hazzy's been bit by that thing. Werewolf. There we go. Got it.
Is it bad? Is that a bad thing?
Um.
I rolled really
Well,
badly, apparently. Know what it was.
I mean, it's up to him if he wants to at the full moon turn into an uncontrollable wolf. Then he could
Is it?
do that.
Uncontrollable wolf, which only urges to quote a computer game, to rip and tear
Yep.
Until it's done.
until it's done.
Right.
And
I think probably need to speak to someone with some knowledge then.
yeah. So I think we need
Point us in the
to.
right direction.
Yeah, we need to find somebody that can. Well, there's Wolfsbane, which is awful, like awful, and probably would kill him. Otherwise, we need to find like a priest or somebody that can like cast a spell to stop it.
Yeah.
We're probably only going to find priests that powerful enough in the city.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you know that the leader of the Dawnflower Library, she is a priest of Serenray. She's also a librarian, and she is not by any means an all-powerful channeler of the divine. And for a meta kind of aspect, she is the same level as you guys now. Or you are now the same level as her. And this magic is currently beyond your abilities. The remove curse spell.
But she might have some knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. We could probably
Yeah.
ask her.
I mean, Iskra, you know her very well.
That's good
Well,
lead.
do you think she'd help us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I can go ask her, and then I guess we'll need to secure some sort of transport to the city. Whatever's fastest.
Maybe you can bring her here to this apartment and we'll talk to her here. So no one finds out.
Yeah.
Libraries are very echoey.
I'll try to be discreet if I can, then I'll bring her back here.
Okay. She got a token? She has a token. Fantastic. Yeah, she'll come with you. She's not exactly sure what's going on, but she has no reason to distrust you. And she comes into the room. She sees that everyone's there, and she's like, "Oh, hello everybody. What's why the skullduggery and secrecy?"
Yeah, well, we don't.
As he wants some confidentiality.
Yeah, we don't want to cause a panic.
Right?
We've got ourselves in a bit of a pickle. In that I'm sure at some point, if you haven't already heard, a werewolf's been brought into town.
Yes, yes. Funny enough, the rumors have already reached us. Yeah.
Yeah, not surprised. It spreads fast here, doesn't it?
So, so that's actually true then.
Yeah. So
What's the pickle? Oh, and she kind of goes wide-eyed. She goes, "I see. Yes, the full moon's in a few days, isn't it?
yeah, and
Not sure if there's anything I can do for the poor fellow in jail. I mean, he. If you know he's a werewolf, then I
how about
assume that
if
he's changed
someone's
already.
just
And
recently been bitten?
oh, and she kind of looks over each of you and kind of studious kind of reading of each of you, which only an academic could really do. An impartial observation of each part of your body, and then she kind of rests on the housing. She goes, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not good. Um, I'm sure we have some books on the subject in the library, but I don't know of anything offhand that I can do.
Or if you know anyone who can help.
She kind of like exhales and let me think. There is definitely someone who can help you in Absalom. Any of the priests of the main 4 temples at the Ascendant Court. There's a large temple for Iomade, Caden Kalen, and there's also one for Norgaba, but that's not the one I would suggest you go to. I think Iomade would probably be your best bet. Caden Kalen, I'm sure they would help you. They are far into the liberation and glory, so I'm sure having something put on you against your will would be an affront to them. But I think Iomade would probably be more morally obligated to see you right. I don't know any of the priests who are there. I don't come from Absalom myself. I'm a priest of Serenray, and whilst there's a presence in Absalom, it's not one of the 3 main pillars of the town. The 3 main spiritual pillars of the town are the 4 gods: Aradin, the lost god, Iomade, Caden Kalen, and Norgaba. The reason for that is that this island we're on was raised from the sea floor by the lost god Aradin before he passed, and then Iomade, Caden Kalen, and Norgaba were 3 mortals that undertook what's called the Test of the Starstone, and they ascended to divinity from completing whatever tasks it is that befall someone who undertakes the test. And so those 3 do have a special place in the divine ways in the town. City, I should say. Biggest city in the world.
Yep, that's help.
okay. Do you think that you have a do you have a map maybe of the city that would help us find the temple?
Is this something that I would know from being from there?
You would know where they are. You would
Oh,
have a
okay.
decent understanding of the general layout of the city. Now, this city is huge. Not necessarily by real world standings, but it's huge. It's about 16 miles across at the thickest point, and averages about 12 miles across. And there are over 300,000 people that make their home there.
Oh, crikey.
And it is the biggest city in the world. But whilst you would have a decent understanding of the districts and what's there, you wouldn't know every street. You wouldn't know every back alley.
No, of course not. Just,
A lot of the city is still kind of foreign to you.
yeah, so I know the bits that I spent time around, and
Yeah,
obviously the main parts.
yeah. You probably know the docks the best. She disappears and she comes back about half an hour later, and she comes back with a couple of maps. And the first one is this one.
Oh, this is the whole.
This is the whole island which Atari is part of. So Atari is over here, and Absalom is just along the coast over here. Now it's only about 40 miles away.
Would it be fast by boat?
Tough to decide. If the weather is fair, yes. If the weather's bad, possibly not.
Or even if there's no wind?
Well, if there's no wind, there'd be rowers. Going overland holds its own potential problems, which is you would be going through dense woodland and unpopulated hills, and even though this island has a fair number of settlements and the biggest city in the world, it is not by any means a tamed land. The mountains are populated heavily by harpies. The Immenwood itself is an ancient woodland that houses all sorts of fey creatures. The Welt, which wouldn't be in your direction, is an undead infested part of the island. So it could be a risky journey overland, and if you get too many interruptions or waylaying, it could take a bit too long to get there.
Yeah, I think boat sounds best then.
Do we know how like on good weather vacations, how long does 150 miles take?
Well, no, it's only 40 miles, but it would take you by boat. It's probably more 50 miles by boat. You could get there under good weather, with good winds or strong rowers. You could get there in a day and a half, 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to do some googling. The average sailing speed of a sailing ship is 5 nautical miles per hour, which is roughly 5 miles an hour. So, yeah, not super quick. I thought it would be quicker than that, but kind of makes sense. Big, heavy wooden thing being dragged through the water. The next map she takes out is the city of Absalom and its various districts.
The puddles.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be probably where you're at home.
Yeah.
So the puddles, what is now known as the Puddles District. So many years ago, there was a massive earthquake. This earthquake coincided with earthquakes, quite a few earthquakes across the world, and they coincided with an epic event that happened thousands, tens of thousands of miles to the north in an area near the northern pole called the Whirlwind, which, through the heroic actions of some mythic heroes who are now becoming legends in the world, managed to seal what's called the Whirlwind, which was a very large portal that led directly to the Hells, into the abyss. The district now known as the Puddles was greatly affected, like much of the city, by the massive earthquake. It caused this district to drop below sea level at high tide, causing flooding and erosion. The centre of the district is now a festering lake known as the Little Inner Sea, and most businesses are calf deep in water even at low tide. And any of these locations you should be able to open up and see. And then there is something for Kyle here. And there is something for...
Where?
Over here. In the Merchant's Quarter, which is probably the quarter you know the best. That and the docks. And then for Sapphire, there's a location over here.
Oh yeah.
I can't click anything.
Over where, sorry?
Over here. Can you double click on those things and open them by any chance?
Oh, yeah.
I don't see anything there.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
blank.
only they can see.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
How can I?
Acting about.
Can you see any of the book icons on the map?
Yeah.
Hazzy?
Yeah, I can.
Hazzy, can you see
anything on
them?
the Dr. Mud?
I can see none.
Okay. So on the left-hand side, where you have like the token controls, if you toggle down till you see the banner icon, which says Journal Notes, if you click that,
Yeah.
and then do you
Toggle
see
notes.
the kind of the it's the third icon down. If you click
Yeah.
that once,
Nothing happens.
huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
double
Wait.
click on-
Okay, now I turned it off. Now I turned it on, but there's nothing here.
Odd.
And then you have to go back to token controls, I believe.
Oh.
Because if you've got both those turned on and you double click them, it should open it.
Yeah, should.
I just don't think I have anything
Do you
I'm
have
allowed to see here.
Do you have it minimized by any chance?
Uh,
Let me just
what do I
check
have
the
minimized?
ownerships.
You've clicked on the little pin to say toggle notes display?
Yeah. The purple pin, right?
Yeah.
This is what it looks like to me. Oh, there we go.
You got him?
Got it?
What the? So I tabbed out to
Oh,
the Discord thing, and then I tabbed back in, and it all popped into view.
Oh.
Okay,
weird.
so tab out and tab in. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
refresh
so
the
this
system
is
now.
the city of Absalom in all its hugeness. And you've got the various locations around. There's a lot of information there you don't need to necessarily know at all, but
Where would
Blood.
the temple of Ayamodebi?
At the Ascendant Court is where you can
Descendant
find
Court near
the...
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Atlantic.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Well, I'll give a brief overview of the thing. So Aslanti Keep is obviously the big keep in town. You've got the Wise Quarter, that is where most of the government buildings are. Includes the residence of the Primarch and the Hall of the Grand Council. The
Sorry,
west
the residence of who?
of the Primarch and the Grand Council. Grand Council.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you said.
So the Ascending Court is the religious part of town. The Coins. It's a district in Absalom that resides just north of the city's Great Docks. It's at the heart of the city, at the centre of the world. The area is home to much of the trade, both legal and illegal, that occurs within Absalom. Transient nature of its primary merchant population facilitates the illicit exchange of drugs and other contraband. However, despite its reputation, some areas of the district, such as the Monger's Mart and the Grand Bazaar, remain more respectable. And here, the potential for profit outweighs the risk of unlawful dealings. The docks. You have the East Gate, which is the eastern entrance to the city. The Foreign Quarter is the city district in which much of Absalom's non-native population resides. Entire neighbourhoods there take on the flavour and character of distant lands. It lies on Absalom's west side, sandwiched between the Ivy District and the Wise Quarter to the north. The lower taxes for non-citizens in this section of the city have made it quite popular for immigrants from the rest of the Inner Sea region and beyond. Foreign merchants with businesses find the area particularly attractive due to an equivalent extension of citizenry protection offered to any resident of the Foreign Quarter who has lived there more than 3 months. The Flotsam Graveyard, which is in this area down here, over the thousands of years that this city has been here, many attempts to take the city via siege, naval invasion, and so on have occurred. The outlying portions of Absalom, you will find ancient war machines and trebuchets and siege equipment just derelict, rusting, and rotting. And the Flotsam Graveyard is the naval equivalent. It is an incredibly treacherous area to navigate, to such a point that there's actually there's a guild set up that will row out to incoming ships, and for a fee will pilot those ships through the Flotsam Graveyard.
Like the Suez Canal.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ivy District, it's packed full of narrow streets filled with performers, breathtaking architecture and gardens, the finest artistic venues and attractions. Students and artists flock here to study in one of the Inner Seas region's most famous musical academies, the White Grotto. Although it is not the only place here for artists to develop skills. A handful of formal schools scatter the Ivy District, and working experts offer private lessons for anyone willing to pay for them. So this is the kind of cultural part of town.
Okay. So we could
Go on.
hopefully heal Hazzy, and then maybe stick around a bit and do a couple little things before heading back.
Yeah. The Petal District. This rests atop the water-cleft cliff face on a rise of land known as Araden's Hill. Known as the wealthiest district of the city at the centre of the world. It's also home to the most powerful noble families. The district's name comes from the well-maintained rows of flowers that run down the central coast, every paved street in the brick-framed medians. You have the Precipice District. In the aftermath of the earthquake, the Precipice Quarter became perhaps the poorest, most derelict and abandoned in the city. It became the focus of extensive revitalization efforts by the acting Primarch. In part, these revitalization efforts were for the purpose of utilizing the region for the then upcoming Radiant Festival. Legions of mercenaries, worker crews, and spellcasters were hired to clear wide swaths of haunted quarter and transform it into a suitable fairground. Effort finally achieving significant results. Rumours persist of cost-cutting, budget limitations, and unscrupulous contractors that tarnish these efforts. And I told you about the puddles, and I told you about the Wise Quarter.
Ooh, I see a magical plant place.
Of course you do.
Yeah, the Arbitorum
Right, I think-
Arcanus.
We have to get there.
Mm-hmm.
There's, what is it, 40 miles? So
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, could we maybe arrange a message to go ahead of us so that they can be ready for our arrival? Or is that not
Yes.
necessary? I don't know.
Vandy doesn't know who to address it to. And she fears simply addressing a letter to the temple by Raven might not be read or actioned before you get there. But she could certainly enlist the aid of one of the druids at the stone circle just outside of Atari to send an animal messenger should anyone know someone in town, in city.
I do, but I don't trust him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as long as they can be trusted, and yeah, that sounds good.
Does anyone want to send a message to anyone in Absalom?
I know a whole of 0 people in this town, so no.
Yeah, I don't know anyone there either.
Okay. Now, Atari itself is obviously ocean-based. There's fishermen. There are ships that come to load up logs and then take them to Absalom. The main export of Atari is lumber. So there's usually a ship or two there. Now, you don't generally find passenger ships in Otari. But if you had some gold on hand to pay for journey,
I mean,
You
we
could do
did
so.
help the docks out. I think we could maybe ask for a little favor.
Is there any of my father's ships in port?
no. And I would say that your father doesn't own the ships. He pays for the goods that arrive on the ships. He's not that successful of a merchant that he has his own ships. He simply pays for the goods. Like a lot of the ship owners don't. They will be paid to transport. That's how they make their living. They don't necessarily buy and sell the goods because then they'd be spending too much time with the ship in town, not working. Unfortunately, it was yesterday that your father's ship, the ship that your father had paid to pick up lumber, left.
Fully,
Yes.
GM. Isn't it the fishing docks and the docks are they like the same thing here?
I'll
Or
take
is
it back
this
to
not the
Atari.
same? Is that another place I'm thinking of?
Yeah, so the fishery kind of are in charge of the docks in Atari. Yeah, and you definitely did help out the fishery deal with what's down below.
Yeah. So I think maybe we could. If everyone's up for that. Maybe we could try and get on a boat as soon as we can and just take it to.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We have knowledge from Kyle, and if we can have these maps as well with us, I think.
Yeah, she'll say, yeah, of course, she's hesitant to hand them over, but then she's, of course, just if you could return them when you don't need them anymore. I don't think we have any copies of these, so if you could return them once you're done, I'd appreciate it. And it would definitely help you navigate around town somewhat, having a rough map of the city.
Yes. Thank you. We'll
Thank you so much.
do our best to take care of them and bring them back.
So the lady who runs the fishery, Tamale Tandeville, she greets you all as you make your way to the docks. How much of your predicament do you go into, or do you simply say you need to go to Absalom?
Yeah, I think we just want to go with that. We really need to go to
Yeah.
Absalom. It's an emergency. We just
Okay.
need to go there.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, well, we do owe you. You've done some good things around town, not just for me, but for everyone. Of course. Come with me, and you kind of walk down the docks a bit, and you can see that there's a fisher boat that's kind of offloading its current catch, and she asks that you just wait a moment. She goes up to the fisher boat, and she's having a conversation with them. It's not heated, but it is animate. And you can see the fishermen are kind of like putting their hands up in the air, and they're kind of pointing at the catch, and it's kind of like shaking their heads and pinching the bridge of their nose. And then she says something. She hands over a small pouch to them, and then she comes back to you and she says, "They'll take you, but we need to help them offload the fish into the fishery, and you will have to work out this form of payment for them. I've basically bought their haul at above market value, so that they would be willing to undertake this for you. But they still want some form of payment for the journey, as it is,
How much?
well, somewhat out of their way. But I'll leave you up to I'll leave that up to you." And then she kind of looks to both Kyle and Hazzy and says, "And you two, big strapping lads, help the fishermen put the fish into the fishery,
I'll
will
start
you?"
helping. I'll start-
Yeah, I'll start helping.
There's lots of barrels full of fresh caught fish. Quite a few still alive. Most of them, however, just packed in salt. Being that they're not packed in ice because, well, refrigeration is difficult in this era.
Yep.
After about a half hour of work, the ship is emptied of its catch. They start to get the ship ready to go underway, and the matter of the fee comes up. They say, "How much are you willing to pay for this? What are you offering for us to take you to Absalom? We're gonna lose 2 days of fishing out of this, so we do need to be reimbursed."
I can give you a wicked tattoo.
Would any of us know roughly how much days of fishing this was?
Let's have a look. Got a button for this somewhere. This. I'll make a public rolls. And
They might find that one helpful.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Monty's not rolling this. Okay.
Oh God. 8.
Yeah, Hazzy, you don't know much about fishing.
I love fish.
You love eating it.
I love eating them, I guess. Yeah.
You love eating it. You're not even You're not even
I
quite
know
sure.
about the fishing, I just don't know what the hell they're worth.
Fish is fish.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't have a clue. Like, lot of clue. Iskra,
Somehow knows. I guess
Somehow.
I talks a lot.
you've been in town quite a long time. Probably done some odd jobs. You might have even gone fishing with them once or twice. You know that the amount of money the fishermen get paid depends on the catch, and they'll only get a portion of it. And you do some quick guesstimation, and you think that maybe the fishing ship itself would earn 15 gold a day of work, but then that would cover expenditures like repairing of nets, upkeep of boats, wages for the people, hiring people, etc., etc. So that 15 gold isn't necessarily profit, but that would be what they could get for the fish for a full day's excursion, which is they will go out in the morning and they'll come back the next day in the afternoon.
Okay. So what, 30 gold for 2 days?
Yeah, roughly so.
And that's like no profit, just
No, that would be them making a bit of profit.
oh,
That's like your average day of fishing.
oh, okay.
Like a huge, massive haul with some rare or hard to come by fish and some pure luck, they might push 17, 18 gold. On a very poor day's fishing, they might come away with like 4 gold.
Okay. Well, I guess it's up to the group, but I'm willing to chip in.
Yep. I
Yeah,
will.
you actually
believe we
check
all
how
are.
much gold I actually have.
Yeah, I mean, between 5 of you, if you were going to offer them 15 gold, which, if that's the value you float to them, they'll accept it without pretty much any haggling.
Oh, just 15. I thought we were doing
Per
2
day.
days.
Well, yeah, sorry, 30 gold in
30 in
total.
Okay.
Between the 5 of you, that would be 6 gold each.
Maybe
Okay.
Iskra can haggle something with the tattoo. If someone's interested, right?
Yeah, okay. So
If you're up for that, Iskra, I don't know.
Yeah.
So the tattoo would cost 9 gold pieces worth of ink and time and magic and like that. So let's see. Yes. So even though it costs 9 gold, they'll cover the cost of that and they'll drop the price down to 18 gold in total. Which,
Okay.
between the 5 of you,
We'd save 3 gold. Guess that's good.
it'd be 3 gold each.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Wait, how does that work? That'd be 3 gold and a few silver.
Well, I can chip in 5 gold and 5 silver right away. Because that's all I have, and I feel like I want to just
Okay, if you
put
put
all
in...
of my stuff in that.
Okay. Oh, that's a much better idea, yeah. Yeah, so it's 3 gold and 6 silver each. But if you're putting in how much? 5 gold and 5 silver?
Yeah.
So that'd be 7... 7 silver and 7 copper each for the rest of you. I think. 4, 7.
I don't mind. Just take it out.
I'll work out the money.
Okay.
It's a pittance compared to what you've currently got on your characters. I'll work that out in the break and take it off.
Wait, how much money do people have? Am I brokey?
You are brokey because you've been buying weapon runes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been trying to save up for nice stuff.
people be blinging out here.
I mean, I'll just put it this way. Every single one of the party, apart from Hazzy, could pay for the ship fee on their own without any issue.
Okay, I'll still put in all my money.
Okay.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
No, I want to do it.
Okay. Oh, so Hazzy just kind of like empties his pockets, hands it over to the guy, gets on the boat, and
You guys coming?
and you set sail.
Do you want to? So, because mine's not broken down, and I've got 99 gold and 3 silver, 6 copper. I don't know how to break that down.
I'm just gonna go to the toilet real quick.
Okay.
Just 2 minutes.
18 gold. Copper minus 5 gold, 5 silver. That leaves 12 gold and 5 silver divided by the 4 of you, which means you each have to pay 3 gold. Just 3 gold each. I'm just going to round it.
Okay. Do I click the minus button or the plus?
Minus.
Minus, okay.
Yeah.
Because last time I tried that, I think it did something funny. So maybe...
It should auto work out.
Okay, yeah, that worked. Alright, so I'm down to
Yep,
96. How long does it take me to do a tattoo?
It will take you the whole journey. And it'll be the captain who wants it done.
Okay, alright. I didn't know if I could do it on the journey or if it would take me longer.
No, I've changed the rules. You can do it in 2 days.
Okay. Alright, so shall I deduct 9 as well from that?
No, that's taken into account.
Oh, okay.
So after when the first night occurs, you're just around the bluff outside of Atari. And they generally don't sail at night, being that these fishing ships aren't deep water ships, and having to stay close to land, they don't want to run afoul of rocks. So they anchor down at night. Hazzy,
Yes.
can you roll me a d20?
Just think now.
How do I do that again? It's R
/R space d20.
R space 20.
Oh, yeah. The weather in the next morning is perfect for sailing. Strong wind coming from directly behind. Sails full, no rowing needed, and you make excellent time. Instead of getting to Absalom in the late evening, you get there in early to mid-afternoon. Let's take you to Absalom.
Oh, we're here.
You're here. Yeah. You got there very quickly. You rolled a nat 20 on my random... How bad or good is the weather?
Do I need to do a roll for the tattoo?
Yeah, if you could just do a craft check. Oh, and you can all be back to full hit points as well, and you can all rest as...
There we go.
Okay. So, as you approach Absalom, it's the whole ship kind of goes quiet. As turns out that none of these sailors, these fishermen, have been to Absalom before. The captain's been here maybe once or twice before, but even he kind of goes quiet as just the sheer size of this place, just the enormity of the docks. Just absolutely huge. There are dozens upon dozens of ships in all sorts of different crafts and styles and designs. Some in the shapes of dragons, some sleek, made of shimmering wood you've never seen before, some huge, thick, beefy ships that look like they've been hewn from a single log, which is the size of the largest building in Atari times 5. It is breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and at the same time incredibly intimidating. Just the sheer size. And this doesn't change when you get off the ship on the docks. The first thing that you realize through this fog of bewilderment and amazement at just the sheer denseness and largeness of this place is the smells. You're so used in Atari to the smells of Atari that you're not familiar with some of these smells. You're familiar with the ocean breeze, the smell of fish, the smell of lumber. Those smells are what are the most predominant that you get used to, that you don't smell anymore. There are all sorts of different smells here. There's smells of different strange foods being cooked. Some sort of spice in the air. Smoke. There's an underhanging smell of people. Just not body odor in a way that is horrible, but just there are a lot of people here, and you're not used to that many people in such a large area, and they smell in ways that you aren't used to.
The disgusting smell of home.
Yeah. Kyle, it takes you maybe, I don't know, a minute or two before you don't smell anything out of the ordinary that you even realize. But for everyone else, these smells are different. Like if you've ever gone to a foreign city, which is...
Paris?
Sorry?
Paris?
Yeah, it's got that kind of Paris-y, not quite as much dog shit smell to it. I'm sorry.
So kind of like
Yes.
if you go to anywhere with an open sewer system.
Yeah, you don't see an open sewer system. There is no open sewer. There is an actual proper full-on sewer system to the town.
They're all
Oh, there is
sophisticated.
in a lot of modern cities, but they're technically open.
Yeah, but it's more just the smell of people. Not necessarily in a horrible, oh my god, everyone stinks, everyone's sweating. It's just bodies. And with that many people around, that kind of smell exists. And there's spices and strange things being sold and meats being cooked and all manner of food vendors dotted around the place and hawkers selling all manner of strange and colourful things. And you are all, apart from Sapphire and Kyle, you are very much in that tourist that's never been to a massive city before.
Yeah, I'm anxious already.
What would you like to do?
I guess try to get to where we need to go ASAP.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of
It's on the other side of the
navigation.
city.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the city, so what? Average walking speed is about 5 miles an hour. It's about 10 miles away, but that would be a straight line. So with Kyle acting as guide through the city, it'll take you a good 3 hours to get there.
Oh, he's on the ground up there, being a soldier, all that, but he doesn't know his way around. It's fine.
Yeah. It's more to do with you might never have even gone to the Ascendant Court. You know where it is, but you don't know any of the shortcuts at back alleys. There are main thoroughfares,
Well,
and they are busy.
part of us acquired, he probably has gone there to pay service,
Mm-hmm.
rather than trying to keep pushing a station up.
Mist. One of the things you notice more than the others, just because of your inclination and your heritage, is that there's no horses in town. There are wagons that are being pulled. There do seem to be kind of a bus service that is happening. There's like a hop on, hop off, pay for transportation. But these wagons are all pulled by camels. And then there are occasionally rickshaw-like transport that can be hired as well, which are predominantly run by halflings with running dogs as the beasts of burden. So there are transportation methods around town if you want to get there quicker, but it'll cost you.
Bite.
I think that's up to everyone else. I don't mind walking, but I don't have any money, so.
Don't wait. Oh,
How much is transportation?
come on. It's
Being from this town, you have the advantage. For a couple of silver, you could hop on, get off, hop on somewhere else, get off, and you could probably get to the Ascending Court in an hour and a half. Maybe an hour. If anyone else was to approach, you know that they would probably charge them a gold, because they can easily tell tourists.
Yeah. Let me just sort out some transport. We can get there in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'll go do that. I'll cover Hazzy's cost. Was that just a flat rate for all of us?
Yeah, flat rate forward me.
Okay, yeah, I'll cover it.
Yeah. So if you want to mark off 4 silver, you can get to the Ascending Court in an hour and a half. Okay. So the Ascending Court has 4 main... Well, it has 3 main... A central district lies the Starstone Citadel, which sits atop a massive pillar of rock, surrounded by a seemingly bottomless chasm. The cathedral is connected to the rest of the district via 3 bridges, one for each of the gods, Iomade, Caden Kaelan, and Norgaba, those who pass the test of the Starstone. The 4th bridge, tied to the lost god Aradon, was destroyed in the massive earthquake, and has not been repaired since. And that's this large area here. As you make your way into the cathedral, it's monumental. It's awe-inspiring. The architecture is beautiful. You can't even tell how this was constructed or how such a large building even stands. There's gold filigree, there's beautiful carvings, it's just breathtaking. Think St. Paul's Cathedral when it was opened. Now, none of you really know where to go in the Ascendant Court. It's a massive cathedral. There are shrines about, there are people in various raiments. If I read out, let's see, let's have a look. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so there's a fair number of people around that you, after a while of looking, work out are probably, if not priests, at least people who work in the temple. There are some who wear a symbol of a sword, and for its hilt there is an emblazoned sun-like star. And then there are others that simply have like a brooch that has a tankard on it.
Yeah, I got no clue.
What strikes you as odd with the people with a tankard on it, however, are, even though that some of them are apparently holding a position of some kind of station, it's incredibly hard to work out what station they would even hold, because they're dressed in simple dresses, simple clothing, maybe like a leather waistcoat, but they each have
Figure it out with that.
some kind of mug or beverage on them, and they will occasionally top up drinks of those who you would determine are petitioners. The
What kind of
others, the
gather would
one,
that religion get?
yeah, that would be Caden Kalen. The other one are the priests of Iomade. They are quite easier to work out because they are wearing the very obvious holy raiments. So long flowing robes with scroll work and the colours of red and black.
Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
sorry, red and
wrong
gold.
check. My bad.
I'm going to explain this. The dudes of the who look very much more priestly are Iomades, and the other people are Galen Cadalen.
Yeah, Caden.
That's the one. Wait, who's particularly diplomatic? Ask one of the priests for some assistance.
Okay, I guess that's me.
Who do you walk up to?
Is there a like studying people, or do I just know who looks the nicest?
I would say one of the Iomade guys.
Yeah, I know, but like out of the Iomade folks, like whoever looks the nicest, not like grumpy, and like whoever looks like
Okay, so the
they might
people,
be helpful.
yeah, the people that look the most approachable and the most friendly are those wearing the brooch of Caden Kalen.
Oh well, oh.
They seem to be the more, not that the Imodaean priests are unapproachable by any means. It's simply their demeanor and their attitude is far more welcoming and host-like.
Oh, okay. Well, of the Iomade folks, didn't we say that was our best bet?
I mean, both could help you, but Iomade, they would... You would be unlikely to get turned down,
Okay.
but Iomade would have a moral obligation.
Okay.
Slightly more so than Caden's might.
Yeah, one of the Iomade folks,
Mhm.
like whoever looks like they're not already being harassed, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So you work up, and one of the individuals that you come up to, um, short cropped brown hair, sword at their waist, wearing raiments. They they introduce themselves as Joshua Book. It's, greetings. My name is Joshua Book. Um, well, how can Iamade help you today?
Um, we we need some help, maybe in hopefully being discreet in the form of a some sort of cure for a curse.
Um, yes, that's certainly something we could carry out.
It's a curse, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. Eh, eh, come, and it's yourself who's cursed.
One of my fellow party members here.
So I see. Kind of looks around and finds a not secluded but out of the way kind of portion of the cathedral. Being in such a large place, you can stand in a small group talking, and even though loud voices would carry, a normal level of conversation would just kind of get droned out in the general talking.
Okay.
Also,
And he says, who's the unfortunate child who's being cursed?
Hazzy here. He got himself bit by a werewolf when we were trying to capture it.
Oh,
It had admitted to committing foul murder. And most he agreed. We want to spare him this curse if we can.
I see, lycanthropy. That's not oh boy,
He hasn't turned yet, but we know that.
that's good. That certainly makes things I say easier. It's still no simple task.
No, we know that time is of the essence.
It's what do you mean? I mean, you say he hasn't. Oh,
Yeah, full moon not too long now.
that's a very good point. I see. Yes, yes. Ah, I don't believe it's something we can do today. Tomorrow, let me make the necessary preparations. And yes, I will have things made ready. I hate to bridge this. There would be a cost involved. Unfortunately, we cannot just do everything for free. Those in the church that have the ability, their time is stretched thin to perform such acts, and there is a material cost to. I'm afraid I don't know exactly how much. I would hazard a guess. Maybe 15 gold?
Okay.
He says in a way of not necessarily being completely unsure, more of a, oh, I hate asking people for that much money.
That's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, this
Oh.
is very important. So
Oh, okay. As long as the cost isn't an issue, I will see to it that someone
Do you
can be
The cost. Do you need
made
the money now,
available.
or when we come back?
Yes. Return here on the morrow. Come at midday. And Yes, I think I know someone who could definitely help, and I'll make sure that they're available for you. If you could, yes, return tomorrow, and we will be able to alleviate you of this curse, my child.
Thank you very much, Your Holiness.
Thank you so
Of
much.
course, of course.
Sorry, one more question. Do you know where we could maybe stay for the night?
I could ask my dad. He's got a big enough place.
Oh,
Oh, that's wonderful. I was simply going to say that the city is full of wonderful taverns and inns and hotels. You'd be very hard pressed not to find somewhere to stay. As far as where, I don't know exactly.
oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not used to
All right, but thank you very
this
much.
big.
That's all right. Go in the light. And, let's take a
Thank you.
5 minute break
Yeah.
because I need to stretch because my back is killing me. We'll take a 5 minute break. We'll be right back.
Same. I have no living room furniture, so I need a clinic.
Yep, and then we'll pick this back up in just 5 minutes. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
See you guys then.
Yes.
Okay, chat. I am going to run a quick ad break. No one's going to miss nothing because I'll be back in 5 minutes. But the ad will just get rid of any kind of pre-rolls because, well, discovery is near impossible in Twitch. So yeah. See you guys in 5 minutes. Oh, strangely. Yeah, no, I fully agree. It is the best time to run an ad. I will never run an ad myself. That would cause anyone to miss anything. So whenever we take a 5-minute break around about the halfway point, I will I'll run an ad break then, so nobody misses anything. And yeah, good idea with the segments of the town. I have got it correctly set up in regards to distance. So to scale, it is to scale with inside because the measuring, but it's in obviously feet. But the reason I did that was because you got this here. So it is to scale. I could use the measurements, but it's not an Absalom based campaign, so I'm not too worried. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone else back, or are we still waiting on some people?
I'm back.
Okay. Is there a Cinemod? Not yet. Okay. So yeah, sounds like Kyle is offering to house you guys for the evening at his father's house. I'll wait until he's back. Just waiting on Geeky as well to come back in. She's almost done. Is there anything anyone else wants to do whilst you're in the temple?
Not
Or
exactly.
anything you... Sorry?
I
Not
am
exactly.
One at a time. Sapphire.
Not exactly, no.
Okay. Mist?
I am a fox.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, no one's really batted that much of an eyelid. You kind of slunked around people and no one's tried to shoo you away. No one's really thought much of it.
Right.
You're kind of...
I know it's just a monkey carrying around a little fox with a smallest little fox just running beside.
Yeah, no one's particularly batting an eyelid. You get a different kind of view of the city as you're traveling through it, being far closer to the ground, and it's just a jungle of legs and cartwheels and camel legs with their weird too many joints, knobbly knees. There are in the shadows you see like the telltale glimmer of rats' eyes and other various city-based animals that exist here. So even though this is a giant city monument to civilization, you still see aspects of nature and hints of ecosystem, but it's just very different and very strange.
Don't worry, miss. You're not the strangest thing in the city. Trust me.
No, there's too many people. I don't like it.
Right. Well, see if my dad can talk.
Yeah, so make your way back to the Vobeck household in the merchant's quarter.
Yep.
Takes you another couple of hours. It's starting to get dark. The sun is dipping behind the taller buildings in town. You've got maybe an hour and a half of sunlight left. As you approach the Vobeck residence, Kyle, you instantly notice something off. All the curtains are drawn. All the windows are shut. This is a small 2-story, probably 2-bedroom house. Maybe it has a basement. Kyle, you would know it does have a basement, but it's not.
Yep.
It's not a massive house, but it's a family house. All the windows are shut. All the curtains are drawn, and there are no lights on inside.
I'm gonna go to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
I'm
it's
assuming
locked,
I
but
probably have a key.
yeah.
I'm gonna unlock it.
Yeah, door unlocks and you push the door open.
I'm gonna push the door open slowly
Yeah.
and try and see if I can see anything as I go in.
Okay. You notice just in time a figure in the dark with a crossbow, and as the door opens, it's quite clear that this person has just picked up the crossbow in a somewhat startled motion and fires off a bolt, which misses the mark by miles. It thuds into some other part of the building you can't see. And then you hear this shit, which you instantly recognize as your dad's voice.
I mean, come on, Dad. I know we don't always get on. You don't have to shoot me.
Kyle? Oh,
Yeah.
Kyle. Quick, inside and shut the door.
I've got some companions with me.
Inside and shut the door and do as you're told, young man.
Everyone, come in.
Oh.
Okay.
So as you-
everyone gets in, I'll shut the door. And I'll
Yeah, you come in, you shut the door, and it's at that point that your father goes to a small oil lamp which he holds in his hand, and he cranks the light up a bit so it's not just dim, but it's not bright light, but he keeps it enough so that he can see each of you and you can see him. And this is the fellow that's illuminated. Big, strong back muscles. He very much looks like a man that, in his youth, did manual labour, but in the last 20 years has not. And the little caption at the bottom reads, "The father of Kyle Vobeck, merchant and 100% totally and utterly, I pinky promise, honest trader."
Yeah, don't believe that.
I do love the idea how he's like, oh yeah, get in and shut the door real quick, and just this train of like a circus troupe starts
Yeah.
walking in.
Piles
He
in.
probably
Yeah.
been on past.
Exactly, like his dad
Knows
is
his son does stuff.
kind of like taken aback a bit, not necessarily by the number of people that come in, but just by the bizarre mismatch of people. There's a cat folk that comes in. There's a living plant. There's a lizard folk. There's a kitsune. There's a monkey.
No, not
There's
a
a-
kitsune. It's still a fox.
Oh, you're a fox. Okay, there's a fox.
I was
waddles-
fox being carried by a monkey. For some reason, I turned back.
Oh, okay. There's a fox and a monkey, and a weird dragon-like creature. Actually, do you have your eidolon out, or
Yes.
you do? Okay. A weird, like, magical dragon-like creature, and the father kind of glances at the crossbow and like looks back at Carl and he says, "These are friends of yours, right?"
Yeah, they're friends, companions. We've fought evil things together. They're good people. mostly.
Yeah, you and your adventures and... Hello.
Hi.
I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the
Welcome to the Volbeck residence. This is my father, Kenneth. This is Sapphire,
pleasure.
Iskra, Hazy, and the fox is Mist, Monkey.
Hi.
What?
Why is everything so dark? Are you okay?
I was going to ask,
Um,
what's going on, Dad?
everything is fine. Nothing you need to worry about. You just
Go roll perception.
Yeah,
Right.
that usually means
no,
everything's
on
not
this
fine.
it's okay. Mist don't really get a read on the dad at all. Iskra, you don't really get much of a read on the dad. Sapphire, you think, I mean, something is off. You're not quite exactly sure what it is. Like, one, why are the lights off? And did he have a crossbow in hand and shoot at someone who came through the front door without, when it was just unlocked normally? Hazy, you and Kyle both recognize different things. Kyle, you see that your father is worried. You've probably seen him similarly worried in the past, usually when certain business dealings don't necessarily go the right way. And you would not be surprised if he's either ripped someone off, not fulfilled a promise, skimmed off the top and got caught, or has got away with something but isn't sure if he has got away with something. Hazy, what you recognize is the mannerisms and demeanor and the kind of eyes darting around the place that this guy's been either strong-armed, threatened, blackmailed, or some other kind of threat to him, not necessarily physical, but it could turn physical. You've seen this in the faces of people you've done work against before.
What have you done? What's gone wrong?
Like, I am not about to air a family laundry in front of, no offense everybody, complete strangers, Kyle.
Do we go speak?
You know I
in
don't.
private?
You should have just entered the same line of business as me and your brothers. You should not have been gone gallivanting about, playing with swords and pretending to be a soldier and now an adventurer. What's next? Be a wizard, are you?
Why not? Probably because I don't know magic, but
Well, he isn't.
He's
a lot more
But
interesting. And I don't get in trouble and hide in darkened houses with crossbows.
And he's a fine adventurer.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. He's wasting his talents. He's wasting what's in his blood. This business, trading, mercantiles. It's our family. It's in our blood. It's what he was. It's his destiny. Whether he knows it or thinks it or expects it otherwise, it's his destiny to one day own a shop, have a business, and earn coin in an honest way.
My destiny is my own. We've discussed this before. It's why I joined the army.
Joined the army because we had an argument, and I said don't come back until you admit that you're wrong, and because you're stubborn, you decided to just join up with the first gang that you found. But I'm glad you're alive, okay? I'm glad you're healthy. It is good to see you, even if I don't agree with your particular lifestyle.
As it is for you, Father.
Sorry.
What? Should we talk somewhere? Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe you can help. Okay. He says, please make yourselves at home, and if you need anything to eat or drink, the larder is just. He kind of directs you and says, but if you could please just don't raise any of the lights and keep the curtains closed.
Okay.
Well, then,
As
him
they
and
walk away, I'll tell them that he's helping people. A lot of people are happy now.
so that's good. I'm glad he's happy doing what he's doing, but I think he would be happier doing what I think he should do. But that's between. Anyway, Kyle, come with me.
I'll follow him.
He takes you into his study, which is little more than an extended broom closet with a desk and papers everywhere and a few ledgers. You know that the real ledgers are probably under the floorboards.
Yeah.
And he explains that I'm in a bit of a pickle, Kyle. I've sent your younger brother off to Avestan on a trade mission because, well, it would be useful if he was here, but he's not. And your older brother, well, he's off somewhere trying to make his fortune on a trading vessel. I think the last time he sent message he was in Doom trading spice. He should be returning in a month or two. Good lad, good lad. I'm proud of him. He's doing well for himself. But
What have you done?
well, I paid for a certain shipment of goods that made its way to town, and it turns out that the people I hired to bring those goods here aren't exactly happy with what I was paying them when they broke my trust and looked at what they were shipping. And they are currently sitting on it in a warehouse, and I can't get the stuff. And the problem is that stuff is promised to some, how do I say this, influential people in town that aren't happy that the shipment has been, and then he does the air quotes thing, delayed by bad weather. I don't have the capital to pay these people off. Even if I did, I would then not be running a profit. So
What were you trying to import this time?
it's not important. It's nothing dangerous.
Is it something illicit?
It depends on your point of view, okay?
A regular point of view.
A regular person of Absalom's point of view, completely not illicit. Totally not illicit to the common person's point of view in Absalom. No, not at all.
Common law-abiding individual?
I mean, they're not very common in town.
I know this. I did grow up here.
No, yes, it's probably illegal.
Okay.
It is illegal. It's very illegal.
Just
This is great.
So who are the people you hired to the transport for you?
You know, I don't like to use the P word. They are self-realizing,
Pirates.
go-getting individuals who know the world and how it works. They are seasoned sailors.
So freebooters then.
That's one word you could use for them, yes.
Pirates. Okay.
Don't
I'll say
use that
quietly. I'll say that
word.
quietly.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where they are?
Yes. Yes, they're in warehouse 36.
And who was the shipment for?
I, it's probably
I
better
have to
you.
work out every angle here, just so I know how to fix it.
Honestly, Carl, it's probably better you don't know.
It may help.
Um, I don't want to tell you in case anybody else somehow finds out who these goods are for. No offense,
Okay.
Kyle, but when you've had a few to drink, sometimes, you know, the episode with the jam shipment.
Right. That was a long time ago.
I know. I'd almost forgotten until this happened, and then you turned up completely unexpected. I thought you were away. I thought perhaps I can just buy myself enough time that these people get bored and they'll just agree to a small payoff, but don't know if they will. I don't know how much longer I can use the
whatever
bad
it
weather.
is probably worth a lot, and they know it, and
Yeah,
know the risk.
yeah,
And
and I
what will
can't
happen?
go to the city guard
Obviously.
because,
Who
well,
it is?
yep,
And who it's
because
for?
then I will just, yep. So I'm kind of,
Stuck.
yeah, yeah. Um,
So how can I help you?
if you would go there and arrange for those goods, it should be 2 crates. They're marked with my crest or our crest.
Mm-hmm. I know it.
Bring them back here, and that's it. That's all you need to do. I am not quite. I get the sense they're kind of dangerous men.
How much money were they asking for?
I mean, it, 4,000.
Okay. You put yourself in deep this time.
Yeah, I don't have that much.
So we have an urgent mission to go to the Temple of Iomedae tomorrow.
So you're not becoming a wizard, you're becoming a priest now.
No. It's just to see about some advanced healing
Oh,
for one of my
okay.
companions.
Okay. Well, it's good that you look out for each other. It's good to have people that you can trust and have your back.
It's one of the many things I learned in the army.
It's good business.
But
Yes, if you could.
when do you need the crates by?
As soon as physically possible.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about what the word you used, freebooters, might do
Yep.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more worried about what happens if I don't deliver the goods.
Who is it for? Hang on. I'm just going to do something. It's either going to work or it's going to go horribly.
Okay.
He's getting annoyed with his dad, as usual.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more imposing than he used to be.
Yeah, you're now bigger than you used to be as well.
Still short as anything for a human, but
Yeah, and so is your dad. It runs in the family.
Yep.
Your dad kind of like, he doesn't take a step back or anything like that. There's like a slight look of shock in his eyes, and then there's a steely determination that crosses his face. And you get the sense that you didn't intimidate him, but you did impress him. Something you haven't seen cross your father's face all too often, but you recognise it. You've seen it several times before. He says, fine. I'll tell you who it's for. You agree, you and your band of adventurers,
Mm-hmm.
get my goods for me. I'll reward the group. You'll do it for me for free because we're family, right?
Yeah.
They're for some nobles in town.
Okay.
Do
You're
you
trying to
need
push
to know
get this-
who?
You're trying to climb up the ladder again.
There are certain doors this could open. If I could prove to them that I can acquire hard to obtain foreign substances,
Materials.
that's a good word for it. I would open doors to other job opportunities.
Okay. Well, let us take care of this healing tomorrow, and then tomorrow evening, I'll speak to the others because obviously I can't just tell them to do something. I'll withhold. I'll have to be economical with everything. With what
Understand?
you told me, but I need to share information with them
Of course.
for them to assist me. So, what I was going to ask before I found all this out was, is it okay we crash here tonight?
Yes, you can all crash here tonight.
Thank you, Father. I will have a think on this, and I'll speak to the others a bit later, or in the morning. I'm tired.
Is that the game making that, like, chime sound?
No, I think it's someone's phone.
Oh.
Jesus,
It
okay.
just happened every time you rolled, and I was like, I thought it was a new thing.
Hazzy and Iskra overhear the entire conversation.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
what I do.
Yeah,
knowing Hazzy, from what I've gathered so far, I was going to speak to him directly about it anyway.
Yeah, Hazzy and Iskra, you
Managed to gather
heard
the others.
everything. Sapphire probably heard snippets, but not necessarily enough to completely understand. And Mist, I think, is maybe too busy trying to center themselves after such a busy location. So yeah.
I'm scared of the many people.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the larder and start looking to see what food there is. I'm going to ask Hazzy to come give me a hand.
Of course.
Yeah, there's the usual things. There's some bread, there's some cured meats, there's a jar of honey, there's some dried fish. The usual kind of long life cupboard stuff.
Prepare some bits and pieces for everyone, and then I'm going to say, Hazzy, did you overhear any of that?
Yeah, I heard everything.
Yeah. This is my father.
Yes.
Yeah. Your father
Yeah,
stayed
so-
in the study and just went to work on his books.
I can't just leave him in this situation.
It's understandable.
So yeah, I need to speak to the rest of you guys, see if you'll help me there. But I said that we'd sort you out first.
Yeah,
Before we did
thank
anything, because that's more important. Not
Thank
that
you
it's
so
that way.
much.
That's all right. I just think a hairy lizard's a bit of a weird thing.
Yeah, now that I don't have a tail, it's doesn't feel the same.
I mean,
Oh
if
yeah, he
you're,
wasn't
if,
there for that.
What?
yeah, he's missing a
You
tail.
lost your tail as well?
Yeah.
You're really having a hard time, Hazzy.
It's all
Yeah.
healed over. There's a little nubbin, and it's
Yeah.
actually, Hazzy, would you say when your tail regrows, does it regrow like the base of the tail is as thick as it was, and it then kind of grows out thick and then tapers to a point, or or is it like Deadpool, where we have a tiny little tail now there, just a tiny
Like
little
a new.
like finger-like tail that wags, which will slowly grow bigger and bigger.
No, I think it's like it grows out like um like a lump like right away.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
So the usual normal way lizard tails are, not
Yeah.
weird little tiny tail.
Yeah, no.
Weird amphibian growth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. So we'll bring the food out, and then I'll speak quietly to everyone about what I've been asked to do, and that I can't really leave my dad in this situation.
Yep.
But obviously the moral quandary of things.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think if it's for a good cause, helping your dad, I think we
He's
should do it.
not a bad person in the slightest. He's a very good person. He's just very profit orientated. Has very few scruples when it comes to business.
If you want a pop culture kind of reference, think of Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses.
Exactly.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's a really
Yeah,
old British
Same.
sitcom. Some people will get it, others won't.
These
He's-
Brits just assume the world revolves around them.
He's
Yeah.
he's a bit of a geezer,
I-
bit of a wheeler dealer, always trying to do business deals. Sometimes they pan out, more often than not they don't. But he always manages to break even, at least at the end.
Okay.
So yeah. But like I said, first we'll get Hazzy to the temple, sort this out, and then tomorrow night go down to what was it, warehouse 36,
Yeah. Okay.
and deal with the ocean-going freebooters.
Is there anything anyone would like to do in the evening? The city does not sleep. There is still, I mean, it gets a little bit quieter. There's still business.
And
There's
what a bit.
still alive. So,
I think I'd just like to sleep. I think
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
quite overwhelming with
Yeah.
the amount of people.
I'm
Mhm.
not keen on wandering in a strange city at night.
A lot of impressions.
Yeah. Cool.
feel the same way.
Yeah.
Let's just get some rest then.
Okay. We'll
The
advance
city's
it
not for the faint of heart.
to dawn. Okay, yeah. The next day kind of rolls around. The seagulls get slightly louder as the dawn breaks, as the sound of people opening up for business, the smells of cooking food gets stronger and stronger, and sunlight starts to pour in through the diffusely through the curtains of this house. And the time is roughly 8 a.m.
My curse like clears with rest, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah. So yeah, what would you like to do? It's 4 hours before you need to be at the Ascendant Court.
Well, I'm just having a look at everything.
I'm personally quite interested in the magical plant place.
You're interested in going to the...
Arboretum Arcanus.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do there. I just saw magical plants, and that's salt.
That's all right. I'll show her the way there.
Let's see if I can find a... I should have expanded that one. Let me do searching here. Hop on the wiki for it. Yes, okay. So, the Arboretum Arcanus once contained a wonderland of exotic fruit and blossoms from beyond Galarian. Oh, okay. So the Arboretum Arcanus once contained a wonderland of exotic fruit and blossoms from beyond Galarian. It was housed in a magical crystal dome in the Precipice Quarter in Absalom. The magic that protected and nurtured the flora was placed by a man called Beldrin. But these wavered and collapsed when the earthquake struck the district. A magical cloud that hovered overhead, designed to provide nutrient-rich rain, became corrupted. Now, the purple-black cloud spills caustic grey and yellow rain on the plants below. Plants that once thrived either withered away or evolved into horrific versions of themselves, whilst new abominations of nature have since sprung into existence. It is a basically haunted house version of an arboretum.
Oh, right.
The most bizarre-looking places. The Precipice District is the poorest, most derelict, and abandoned in the city.
So I can't buy a cool plant to take
Not
home.
from there. There's another location in the Precipice Quarter called Grizzly Fair. Formerly known as Wonder Fair, this now haunted and abandoned amusement park was an early attempt to reclaim and reinvigorate the district after the earthquake.
Oh, never mind then.
It was
Sorry.
just some last haunted.
Yep.
So is there anything anyone else would like to do in town before we fast forward time to the Ascendant Court?
I think I'll just hang with the group because I don't have any monies, and it feels like this city runs on money. I'm gonna be honest.
It does. Yeah.
Runs on money and backstabbing each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anywhere? Oh,
What?
never mind. I just looked up magical plants Pathfinder 2e. Entry point is 2,000 gold. Never mind.
You could probably find for a few hundred gold some sort of pot for plants that auto waters and auto feeds the plants.
I don't even have a few hundred gold.
Yeah. Whilst you can pretty much find any kind of magical item, good, any rare items, you can find it here. It won't be cheap. It'll be market value and some stuff might be a little bit above, but anything that exists you can pretty much purchase here. as you start to steel yourselves to head back out into town. The smells kind of hitting you again like a thick fog-like wall. The smells of strange foods and spices, and the smell of people again. Just still haven't quite got used to it. As you make your way to the Ascendant Crot, and then at midday, Joshua Book greets you again, and he says, "Oh yes, please, follow me. One of the priests will see you." And he takes you through a doorway into a employees only part of the cathedral. Takes you to one of several rooms that they've got. And inside the room there is a small shrine. There are candles everywhere, loads of big fat drippy candles. There's the smell of incense is heavy in this room, both old and recent. There is a stone slab raised off the floor in the middle of the room, big enough to hold a person of at least, say, 8 or 9 foot to lie down. He says, "Please, I will inform Sister Brand that you are here. She will only be a few minutes. Thank you." You kind of
As he
Yes?
walks away, can I like whisper to him and does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
The cure, whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it would. I don't see why it would. Maybe?
I love that.
Okay.
But the sister should be able to answer those questions for you. But yeah, the Sister Brand will be with you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
And, as you...
I'm all nervous for him.
You alright, Hazzy?
Oh, I'm ready.
You want me to hold your hand?
Yeah.
No, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
About 5 minutes pass in this cold stone room lit only by candlelight. It's maybe 15 foot in diameter, roughly circular, square with circular corners. And then the door opens and 2 figures walk in. The first figure is quite clearly Sister Brand, dressed in even finer raiments of Iomade, with a quarterstaff in hand. She's maybe in her 60s, red hair with streaked with grey hairs. She walks in, and then coming in behind her, moving with nearly no noise whatsoever, you see a dark red-skinned, feminine-featured individual with 2 horns sprouting from the forehead, curling backwards, and slung over one arm. At first thoughts, you think, oh, they've got a quarterstaff in their hand, but then as the light of the room catches it, the bottom part of this thing slung over her shoulder is clearly made of a very finely crafted mahogany coloured wood, and then the top part is a long cylindrical metallic shaft, which some of you look at and you go, the hell is that? and then anyone else who knew Naisu, and also Kyle, this device is clearly some sort of rifle or musket, and it is exquisite. It is a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, and what's more, it is definitely not ceremonial.
That's a nice gun.
And the individual just kind of doesn't say anything, nods, just kind of walks to the edge of the room, cigarette in mouth. Such a juxtaposition in how she's dressed as well. She's wearing like a duster. She's got big leather boots on. She's got a simple breastplate, which is clearly it's got some fine scroll work on it. She's got multiple rings, but she does have one of the pins of Iomade on her breast. And she doesn't say anything. She just goes to the corner of the room. She takes this device and holds it, rests it across her arms in the crook of her elbows, and just takes it and the priestess says, "Please do not mind Lady Ash. She's here for my protection. You must understand that this curse, it makes you somewhat dangerous. And as such, Lady Ash here, upon hearing what we were doing today, has taken it upon herself to act as bodyguard, and I do not have the authority to tell her otherwise."
Yep.
So,
Understandable.
please pay her no mind. Shall we get on with this? You, Lizard, on the
Yes.
slab, please.
Of course,
And
of course.
take off. Where were you bit?
In the arm.
In the arm. Take off your top. Lie on your back. Have the wound up. And then she takes from inside her robe. She takes a piece of leather that's been coiled into a small cylinder and then tied with thick, coarse string. And she says, "Here, you'll probably want to bite down at this on some point."
No, I knew it.
Okay.
I
Put it
won't
in
beat
my mouth.
around the bush. This is probably going to sting like a son of a bitch.
His name is Hazzy.
Hazzy, you're brave, and you did the right thing in coming in here, seeing that this curse be lifted from you rather than, I don't know, try and deal with it on your own or embrace such a thing. You did the right thing, and you should be proud of that, and you'll be stronger for it going through this, that's for certain. Right, the rest of you, are any of you... Do any of you hold faith in a high regard? Are any of you practitioners of the divine?
What does that mean?
Any of you clerics or worship?
What does that mean? That means no.
Up to you how you infer that. You could read it as, do you have access to divine magic? Or are you a priest? Or are you just quite religious?
I mean, I have access to divine magic, and I have a deity, but I'm not a cleric or priest or anything.
And which deity do you hold by?
Uvuka?
Who?
I think that's how you say it.
Let me look at your character sheet. Uvukar. Okay.
To look that up, I've forgotten. It's been so long since I picked.
Yeah. Okay. She says, Uvukar. I think
Yeah,
in
Hazzy
this.
might know him.
I think in this particular instance, we don't necessarily call upon them to help. They're somewhat believing in evolving into a better self, embracing change. Perhaps, no offense, perhaps we don't ask
Ah, want change.
for this particular
instance.
Yes, let's not.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The rest of you, are any of you going to be any help, or are you simply going to be spectators for this?
No, I'm just gonna help pay for it.
I mean, that's certainly one way of helping, and yes, right. Well, the rest of you just stand against the wall. Actually, any of you handy with a scalpel?
Oh, plenty.
Ah, wonderful. Yes, I could certainly use your help. And she goes to one of the altars and reaches behind it, and she pulls out not quite a doctor's bag, but when she opens it, you can see that inside there is suture needles, very small clamps, very small pincers, things you might like, tweezers.
Yeah.
A very small oil lamp and some tiny little they look like branding irons, except they're flat on the bottom, probably used for you recognize these are using for cauterizing small cuts. This looks like kind of like a field medic kit almost. This is well, has he? The first part is definitely going to hurt. The second bit, well, I don't know, because I haven't done this before. Not this particular curse removal. I've removed curses many a time before. Not this particular curse. However, from my understanding and my reading and my education, lycanthropy is a curse of the blood. It's spread by a bite. So unfortunately, we are first going to have to remove, not your whole arm, don't worry. We are going to have to remove the portion of your flesh where the bite took place. Just in case any of the curse still resides. We don't want a secondary infection now. Right.
I'll spit in the tail. No, I'm just kidding.
Because any of you who are squeamish might want to look away. Has he? I suggest you look. Because,
Okay.
again, you'll be stronger for it. And it's your body, you want to see what's happening. What's your name, dear? I'm talking to Sapphire.
Oh, wait, sorry, what did she say?
What's your name?
Name is Sapphire.
Ah, and where did you learn the art of healing?
Oh, right here, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, right. Well, first we're going to need to excise this area. Just take some chalk out and kind of dots it around. And it's probably the size of, if you cut a golf ball in half, it's that kind of diameter, and there's two of those. We're going to need to remove the skin from here and about 1 centimetre of the underlying flesh. I will be on hand to staunch the bleeding. But please, if you would progress, that would be much appreciated.
Very well.
Go ahead and roll me a medicine check. Up to you if you want to make it risky.
Please,
Like,
no.
you jab it in.
To be honest, risky surgery would make it much easier. It
Yeah,
gives me a +2 to the check.
yeah, and if you succeed, it's a crit success.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
There is my medicine. Risky surgery. Let's go. Hold on. I'm just gonna target Hazy just in case.
Yeah, you only need to do the DC 15 as well. Oh yeah.
That's a 20.
That's a 28, risky surgery, critical success. Like, critical success even without the risky surgery bonus. This hurts, Hazzy. This hurts a lot. Someone is it hurts, but it's over very quickly. The skill, the deftness, and the efficiency of Sapphire. If it wasn't for the mind-shattering, searing pain racing through your arm and for some reason translating down your legs as she's kind of removing a disc of flesh from you, you would be massively impressed. Like, this is some next level skill with a blade. And just the high priest also is like, that's very well done. Unorthodox technique.
Well,
Interesting.
Sometimes you gotta learn the unorthodox to get better.
See particular methodology used for quite some time. Interesting. Anyway, and she lays a finger on Hazzy's flesh, and with a quick mutter under her breath, the wound seals instantly, the bleeding stops, the pain completely vanishes, and left in, as she pulls away her finger, the soft amber glowing of light then dissipates and just reveals two patches of new scales. So they're kind of duller in colour, slightly smaller, but fully healed. No damage, no loss of movement or flexibility or anything like that. He says, thank you very much, Sapphire. If you want to step back, we will begin. Now, Hazzy, as I said, this particular curse I've not done before. And she looks over to the individual, the rifle, called she called Lady Ash. She says, Lady Ash, be on your guard. Do not kill him. If things go wrong, don't kill. She nods, and in a blinding, it's either a blinding movement or was she always holding it? You're not sure. The rifle is resting against her shoulder, hand on barrel, hand against stock, finger placed not inside where the trigger is, but against it. It's in good gun safety. But with a bolt action mechanic to it, she pushes the bolt forwards, and then the barrel kind of changes shape, and then she pulls it back. She didn't put a bullet into it, but then you hear the sound of something metallic and beefy sliding perfectly into place. If you've ever slid something metal like a perfect precision lock, that perfect shunk kind of noise, almost like a shotgun shell being loaded. She then kind of levels it, and she's aiming directly at Hazzy's heart. She doesn't say a word. She just simply gives a slight inclination of her head, the High Priestess, and then the High Priestess begins to chant, moving her hands in very slow circular motions, gathering this amber-like golden light into one hand, passing it to the other hand, gathering some more in the first hand, passing it to the other hand, and every time she does this, the light grows more and more until the light in her hand is bright, so that it drowns out any of the candle lights in the room. And at this point, you can see that in the somewhat vaulted ceiling and the walls, there is what to the first glimmer you might have thought of just mineral deposits in the stone are actually very fine runic circles and draconic and elven and all sorts of different symbols of protection, the arcane and the divine, the primal, the occult. She then puts one more globule of this amber light together, and then she looks down at Hazzy and she goes, "Bite it down just in case, okay?" And then
Okay.
she places both hands against your chest. The light suffuses your body, and your whole body just feels warm. Just soothing warm, like you're in just a slightly warm bath. Like it was boiling hot when you got into it, but you've acclimatized to it, and it's now just a soft, warm bath. You feel not weightless, but you feel lighter. Everything just feels nice. Any kind of aches and pains you had in your body, which you didn't realize you had from walking, maybe standing up for several hours today, gone. And you just feel good. And that warmth is spread throughout your body. And in your arm, it starts to get a bit warmer than warm. Then it gets really hot. It now feels like your arm is in a very hot sauna or a very hot jacuzzi. Then it feels really hot, like someone is holding a candle quite close to you. Not to the point that you think it would burn you, but the kind of temperature you would pull back from.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any worse than that, however. The next thing that happens is where the new flesh is, a shape appears in the coloration on your scales of the bite mark. It's not the actual bite mark reopening your wounds or anything, but the bite mark shape itself now colours almost like a tattoo where you had the bite, and it takes on a metallic silvery sheen, and then almost as if something's evaporating from it as this silver marking becomes more and more prominent as the temperature in your arm rises and rises, and it wisps slightly up into the middle of the room. Everyone else can see this small silver orb just appearing in the middle of the room. And then it takes on almost a physical-like appearance of the moon. It's at this point Hazzy starts to spasm and loses consciousness. From everyone else's perspective, you see the finger of the gun user go from finger on the stock to finger inside the trigger and squeeze ever so gently, ready to pull that last little bit. And the High Priestess just holds up a hand to her, and Hazzy stops spasming. There's a barely imperceptible sound of a howl that just escapes from this moon as it just dissipates in a puff, as if it was a globule of smoke that got hit by an air cannon, and it just goes and dissipates into nothing. As he subsides, you slowly regain consciousness. You're covered in sweat, soaked through. You're feeling quite chilly now because of that, and you're on a stone slab, which doesn't help matters. And from this point on your arm where you got bit, you now have the markings of a bite wound, almost as if it was a scar. She says, Done.
Does-
All done. Good. That went
Brilliant.
exactly as planned.
So he's all better now?
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
He
And then you
is.
see it's
Yeah.
like fitted down on the stake.
You.
It's a fucking
Teeth
ruin.
marks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to say, yeah, I'm okay. And as you open your mouth, it's actually embedded in your top teeth to the point that you can't spit out. You have to like pull it out. And there are some chunky lizard man teeth marks in that that bite. He says everything should be absolutely fine. However, I prefer it if the night of the full moon you would return here and we could keep you for observations just to be safe. I am certain it's worked.
When's the next full moon?
Day after tomorrow.
Okay.
I'd much prefer it if we could well, if the worst is true and this didn't work, which I am certain it has worked, I would rather you didn't run amok killing the citizenry of Absalom. Especially considering we would have told you you're cured. It wouldn't reflect well on the chat.
Of course. I understand.
And of course, if it does turn out that we didn't succeed, we will obviously compensate you for the cost of this and reimburse you.
It's very thoughtful.
Fair.
Okay.
And I believe there's a matter of payment. 15 gold?
I'll just give 15.
Wonderful,
Well,
thank you very
later.
much. And Lady Ash, you can put that fangled weaponry down. We're done here, come on. Again, this woman doesn't say anything. With the brighter light, you get to see more of this lady's features. She's quite clearly, it's called a tiefling. And for those of you who don't know what a tiefling is, they are a humanoid race. So you could be an Asimar dwarf. You could be a tiefling dwarf. You could be a tiefling human, tiefling elf, etc., etc. Tiefling means
Be
that
a tiefling?
no, tiefling would be a demon, basically, because a tiefling basically means that somewhere in your ancestry, somewhere in your heritage, some form of abyssal corruption, taint, or blood entered into your family. It could be as simple as someone was exposed to the abyss for an extended period of time and it passed on that way. Someone in your family could have been a demon. All sorts of possibilities, but there is some hint of the abyss in that person. And in this case, it's manifested as a muddy red-coloured skin and horns that point backwards. And she just shoulders the gun, and as she shoulders the gun, she twists a knob on the side and it shortens the barrel, and to the point that it now looks like it's just a wooden stock and it could be easily concealed as a club. And she doesn't say anything. She just gets up, opens the door, walks out. And the high priest will escort you out of the temple. She says, I'll see you in a couple of days. Obviously, your friends are more than welcome to accompany you. They wouldn't be able to stay with you during that evening, but it'd be spacious and comfortable accommodations, locked securely for your safety as well as those are bound. But you did good. Well done. It kind of pats you on the shoulder where the bite mark is, and you instinctively almost kind of go ready to wince, but nope, no pain whatsoever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go with the light and do good things.
He is very good and very brave.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like kind of wobbling a bit.
Yeah.
Good. As long as the end is most good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're free to do whatever it is you want to do, and Hazzy is cured of lycanthropy.
Oh,
Pardon?
very nice.
Feel free to. Yeah.
Yeah, do whatever it is you'd like to do. However,
Alright.
it is 10 to 10,
Yeah.
so I
In the morning?
think
Or evening?
this is a good point to leave
No,
it at.
like
Oh.
real life time.
No, in real
Real
life.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
It's
it-
like, whoops. I the wrong button now. I need to turn it back. So back a day and then forwards an hour. There we go.
Disco.
Yeah, sorry. I actually did hit the +1 day instead of +1 hour. So yeah, so we'll leave it there, and it's up to you what you guys would like to do. They would like it if Hazzy came back. They're not policing him, so if you decided to leave Absalom today, you wouldn't be stopped by the temple.
Yeah, I'll go anyone else does. I'm going to try and help my dad.
But it's up to you what you guys would like to do. Have a think about what you'd like to do between session. If there's anything you want to do or accomplish or find or buy or whatever, this is the best place in the world to do anything you want to try and do. So yeah, and we'll leave it there for today's session. I'm going to award some XP as well, even though there's no combat.
This whole session with no combat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Whole session without combat. It happens. Just RP
I
and
love these.
story and yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I do love. Don't kill him. Aims
Yeah.
at heart.
Yeah, I was like, no.
That character with guns just rings familiar.
Yeah,
I honestly thought it was like an
Yeah.
execution in the beginning. And you said this someone came out with a gun. I'm like, oh, this has like a silver bullet in it.
Oh
It
no.
probably just ended.
Yeah, so it definitely. So it was. The rifle itself is an incredibly magical weapon, and it can change from a rifle to a musket to a blunderbuss to a shotgun. And it was loaded with both silver buckshot and a silver slug.
Jesus.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure.
One for area of effect penetration and one for deep tissue penetration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, glad that wasn't needed.
But potentially an expert marksman that wouldn't necessarily kill you, but shoot you in such a way that you would be incapacitated and unable to move. Everything went well. I may or may not have been doing some secret rolls,
Yeah, I figured.
but everything went well. Yeah. And next session, we'll pick up from there, and you guys can either choose to explore Absalom, you can go shopping, you could go and see the sights, or you could just
Casino.
not want to. There is a casino.
Oh god.
But,
Oh, thank fuck I'm not playing Nathan.
Not playing what?
Oh, one of my other characters, Nathan.
Oh.
Human fighter, gamble addict.
Hazzy's got to get some money before he can gamble.
Yeah, I don't have any. Maybe a good thing.
Yeah?
Probably a good thing, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I've only won in gambling so far.
True. If you quit now, you got 100% win rate.
Exactly.
Right. I'm going to say goodbye to chat and find somewhere to take the stream. But if you guys wanted to talk about any plans or anything like that, you can obviously hit me up in the Discords.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon, I have no doubt.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good night,
Thank
guys.
you.
Guys.
Thanks for DMing. Thanks for playing.
Thank you. Okay, let's find somewhere to go. I enjoyed that session. I like those kind of RP sessions. Probably going to sing combat next time though. Let's see. Where should we go?
I'm trying to decide an hour of Diablo or actually go to bed early.
Streaming.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Suffering. Don't really have anywhere to take us this evening, I'm afraid, so I think I'm just going to call the stream there for today. I will do the usuals. I'll whack it up on the YouTubes, and I'll announce when I get it up on the YouTubes, on the Twitters. If you want to join the Discord, I'm playing a lot of Diablo 4. Made a clan. People are more than welcome to join. Play other games as well. We will soon start streaming more often some other stuff. But until next time, guys, stay safe. See you soon. Be good to each other. Good night, everybody.